All right. Hello everyone. Today is like August 19, 2016. Here, I'm at the Franklin, the 10:05 a.m. I'm connected with the one of the very able man, the automation expert here today. The guest, uh, Nehar Sharma, is with me in Noida, India, in Aristocrat and the Fireflies team. Hi, Neha. What's up there?
Hi, yeah, hi Ellen. It's good here. So it's nice discussing this topic with you. It will be nice, I think. Yes.
Yeah, so Neha is working has been working on the automation for plenty of years. So he's one of the top engineers in Aristocrat there, also a very valuable asset in Fireflies team. Is that right?
Thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to discuss this topic with you, and for like the people who doesn't know about it, also even for the business stakeholders who doesn't know technology that
Mhm.
much, we can show these new technologies to them.
Yes.
Yeah, companies like the main motor right now is like one of the main mottos like quality first. It's very important. So everybody is focusing on the quality in
Yes.
Aristocrat and VGT. So we are one of the main contributors for the quality. So
Yes.
this is one of those like the topic that we can share with the people who wants to a little bit doesn't know about the quality and also want to know about it. So it's gonna be
Yes.
a fun session, fun podcast with the people uh, for the people who know wants to know this, right?
Yes. So,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah, so I was saying that, yeah, so you have done a lot of research regarding this new tool, ProtractorJS, and I think it will be fun discussing it with you.
yeah, yeah. Also, I'm excited to discuss this topic with you, in particular with you, the Nehar Sharma.
Thank you.
All right, so protractor, yeah, yeah. So protractor basically is a protractor, the measure the angle thing. So the name
Mhm.
of the this framework it's provided by Google, and
Mhm.
this is particular testing framework for like Angular JS, which is our AMC R3 server's main framework. So, yeah, there's a lot of terms people doesn't might not know about it, but don't worry about it. So we're going to explain one by one. So there's a lot of them end to end, protractor,
Mhm.
Angular, and framework, and so on. We're gonna explain it very briefly and easily.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we discuss the protractor, I think we need to catch up with the E2E testing first. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, you are very expert of E2E testing, Neha. So could you explain the E2E testing to the people who doesn't know about the quality that much, please?
So basically, what I know about E2E testing is like when we test system as a whole. So it's like we are testing our AMC, the R3 server. So we communicate with web page and verify that the things they are getting saved in our database. So it's like end-to-end communication within the system and see if the whole system is working fine. So that's called the E2E testing.
Right. So for the developers, and they also testing before they release the code base,
Mm-hmm.
which is a unit test. So they do the unit test
Mm-hmm. Yes.
very minutely, and then do we still need E2E testing? Unit test is not good enough.
Actually, Ellen, if see unit testing, even if my module passes, so what happens if my module is integrated with another module? So maybe something
Uh-huh.
breaks in between. So the
Yeah,
communication between the modules. So that is why I think end to end is must.
right. So unit test is just validation or verification for like each module or function that individual developers are working on. So that's enough for specific module or a function the individual's working on. But even though the unit test is passed, but we don't know the the expected result when integrating the whole scenario that the customers might try to do. So we expect that some of the scenarios, and we that's the test cases. Some of the scenarios that we all cover the whole like scenarios with the lot of the testing object and item. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
you said multiple modules. So
Yes.
still E2E testing is necessary. So
Mm-hmm.
that's E2E testing can be done by manually or like automated if it's repetitive and or like the regression is necessary. Regression means like testing one more couple of more time or multiple times after
Mm-hmm.
you finish verifying the test. Since softwares are evolving every day, in particular code or part has been updated and then we need to test again. That's a regression. So in that sense, E2E testing still uh, necessary, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is what I have talked about. So integration is the keyword for this between
Mm-hmm.
components and also yeah. So in that sense, Protractor is specifically designed for the AngularJS platform, which is one of the main framework of our AMC R3
Mm-hmm.
server. So a lot of jargon here. What is AngularJS, Neha?
So I think I'm not very clear, Alan, but I think AngularJS is a type of what framework we are using for writing our scripts. So for development.
Right. So previously, um, our R2 server is designed by the Microsoft technology, which are one of them, which is like ASP.NET. Now they changed the framework to the still under Visual Studio development
Mm-hmm.
environment, but they add in the Angular JS framework, which is provided by Google, which is more dynamic and
Yes.
mutual binding and more flexible and
Yeah.
much systematic code maintenance,
Mm.
XML based, and so
User
on and
friendly.
on, user friendly
Yes.
and more stable. So
Yeah.
that changed the framework.
Yeah.
So that's AngularJS.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how we test the AngularJS framework as we server right now? Yeah.
So right now we are using test complete
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
for our automation purpose.
Uh-huh.
So we are using the tool specific properties and XPath
Yeah,
to to perform user actions and verifications.
right. So basically, we are using the one of the commercial tools, which is powerful, but a little bit expensive, which is
Mm-hmm.
SmartBear's name of company.
Yes.
The tool name is Test Complete. So it's very powerful. But sometimes we have a hard time to catch fetching the object. using like their framework. So we have a like good workaround, which is a XPath. XPath, yeah, a lot of the technological term today, but XPath is one of the method to finding the DOM object in the web application.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another good alternative. But if it's so changing the website, we need to
Mm-hmm.
also a lot of the needs a maintenance of the code of the changing the XPath. So
Yes.
it's a good alternative, but still needs a lot of like maintenance efforts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what currently we are doing. But Protractor is one of the testing framework then that can resolve this kind of the overload
Yes.
that we might expect it, right?
Yeah, plus we are means with our current framework we are getting sync issues. So we have to put delays in our code or put some polling mechanism to make
Yeah,
it work. Yeah.
right. Then Protractor can cover the sync issues better, you believe?
Yes.
Yeah. So since it's also provided by the one of the gigantic IT company, which is Google. So
Mm-hmm.
the kind of like developers of Protractor and Angular are almost the same team. So it's kind of like recommended by their team to test the E2E testing for the AngularJS. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the one that we are currently using, but
Mm-hmm.
still good to know what it is and how to develop it. And still it's free though, so in the
Mm-hmm.
future, it's going to be another
Alternative.
automating tool that we can adapt to
Mm-hmm.
for the new project or like who knows another AngularJS platform that our company might develop in the future. So it's a kind of
Mm-hmm.
good development preparation for automation
Mm-hmm.
team.
Yes.
Yeah. So um, okay, that is Protractor. In order to explain what is Protractor, this is kind of the basic background that we might to remind. So okay, so in this situation and quality, Google and the automation and quality assurance and so on and on. So now let's get started talking about the Protractor. So Protractor is the Google's E2E testing framework.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, it's your Angular Scenario Runner, but
Mm-hmm.
Angular Scenario Runner is like the open source platform in GitHub now deprecated. So
Mm-hmm.
now they migrated all over the code base into the
Protect.
Protractor. So it's a basic framework to simulate the user action with the browser. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, you click for example, like when you log into first you open up the IS3 server and you
Mm-hmm.
type down the administrator and then you type
Mm-hmm.
the password and then you click the button
Mm-hmm.
and the drop down the menu or
Mm-hmm.
like the pop up and so on and on. That's kind of user
Mm-hmm.
action
Mm-hmm.
between yourself and the browser.
Browser,
So
yes.
we have a nice framework, a Firework, which is developed by the Fireflies team.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed under the JScript. Right now, JScript we migrate recently. JScript under the test complete framework, but this is a
Mm-hmm.
kind of different feel, different kind of the platform. So um, yeah. So written by this guy, actually looks like a woman. Um,
Yeah.
and then the 2013 was the first version. So it's still evolving day by day. The beauty of the open source is it's evolving every day. Everybody, the people are open to the, develop the code base,
Yes.
also report the bug and defect, and then they work together. So
Mhm.
everyone's in the world can join in the participate in the code development. How
Yes.
nice of it, right?
Yeah, so I have heard that anybody, if I want some enhancement to the tool or a new idea, so I think I can also join the community and write the code there, right,
Sure,
Alan?
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't you do it, Neha? You are very eligible and able and capable of the joining this the project, right?
Yeah, so Alan, I will have to acquire the knowledge for this tool, then maybe, yeah, I can contribute.
Yeah, you can contribute in the future, in the near future, I
Yes.
believe. Yeah, this is a good initiative
Hmm.
for us to maybe participate in the development. Yeah, this is open source. Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that is Protractor. Okay, so let's get into more deep into the technology stuff. Um, WebDriver. What is a WebDriver, basically? In
So
Selenium. What is Selenium? What is Selenium first, Neha?
Selenium is basically it's an open source tool. So uh, it's provided by HQ Selenium. If you go to the hqselenium.com, so it's an open source IDE. It has an IDE too, and we can also download the jar files to be integrated with Eclipse. So it's a beautiful open source tool. So I have worked in Selenium for 3 years, and it was a very good time working for with this tool. So we were using Java to automate our web test cases,
Only Java
and
is available, or any other language is still available?
yes, yes. So the beauty is like again the sync issues they were minimal cause Selenium has its own WebDriver. So WebDriver is an interface that's provided in Selenium. So Selenium has its own WebDriver. So sync issues were minimal, and the
Hmm.
running
Hmm.
time, yeah, and the runtime for any test case it was really fast.
Yeah, so Selenium is like E- E2E testing frame, open source testing framework.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, um, covers like many languages like Java, C Sharp, or like
Yeah.
VB, and so on and on. So you are one of the development under the Java environment, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Java, Selenium for Java is very popular. So most of them, people who are using Selenium, they chose the Java. So
Mm-hmm.
Java is still like open source now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's open source, operated by Oracle. So that's the WebDriver. WebDriver, that's the Selenium. And WebDriver is like, what is WebDriver? Oh, WebDriver.
So it's an interface, WebDriver. So it's provided by Selenium. So you can say that it's a web browser which we open through Selenium to execute our test
Uh-huh.
cases.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So there's a Firefox driver, Chrome driver, IE
Mm-hmm.
driver,
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
driver
Mm-hmm.
that can be used for specific for the web browser. So that's the web driver, kind of interface between the user developers and the web. So
Yes.
yeah,
Uh,
and then
Ellen,
yeah,
I want to point on one more beauty of WebDriver is
uh-huh.
like uh, means uh, the test case they run really fast. So means like in other GUI based tools, we have to wait for page load and all that. So in WebDriver, it's like uh, it's provided by the Selenium itself or WebDriver itself. So the execution is very fast due to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So even if we are waiting for a particular element, so once that element appears, then our it doesn't wait for the whole page to load if the page is very heavy.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yes.
That means it will show up the great performances of the user action.
Yes,
Clicking the
yes.
button,
Yeah.
yeah, the filling out the form and so on and on. Really fast,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, really fast.
Yeah. So WebDriver is a good resources for the Protractor.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't use the WebDriver. They use a WebDriver JS.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
JS means the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
So under the Node.js platform, are you familiar with the Node.js?
Yeah. So means I went through it some time ago. So I installed it on my machine. Yes. So yes, I'm familiar with Node.js.
Yeah. Basically, Node.js is a server version of the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
Java, what do you think about, what do you first come up your mind if I say JavaScript? Basically,
Uh,
JavaScript, if I say JavaScript, it's kind of add-in thing in the web browser, right? At the beginning, the first JavaScript comes out, it's just a tiny little program. They didn't say it's a programming. It's a very tiny thing that the they can the do the little bit of a programming.
mm-hmm.
Client
Basically, I
client
think for
based, yeah.
UI.
Yeah, basic for well for UI,
Yeah.
very little. I mean, they tiny like little logic, simple
Mm-hmm.
logic in there. That's a very beginning of the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now, the Java, if I say JavaScript, it's really big and really powerful, since
Mm-hmm.
it covers the server.
Mm-hmm.
The Google like invented like V8 engines, 2008 or 9, JavaScript as a server. So JavaScript now can take a role of the server. So if I say server, it's very complicated, right? A lot of the callback and then back on data and syncation and so on and on. But the JavaScript is now used. So Node.js, that is the Node.js.
Yes.
So
So that's the reason. So basically, we see in our R3 server the page refreshes. So within means within every 30 second our page refreshes.
mhm,
So yeah. So it's basically spin.js. It's basically a component of node.js which is performing this operation of polling the database after every means some after some time and then refreshing the page. So it's very quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
great performances. It's lightweight but still
Yes.
powerful. So
Mhm.
Protractor is under the Node.js framework, right? So under the WebDriver JS framework, Protractor also the language perspective, it user like it covers like Cucumber, Jasmine, and then Mocha, but
Mhm.
Jasmine is so popular, so to cover
Mhm.
the Protractor. Their sample code in the Google is all written
Mhm.
by the Jasmine framework,
Mhm.
which is one of the BDD
Yes, language.
language. Yeah. So a lot
Mhm.
of jargon, Node.js, Selenium, WebDriver, BDD. Oh, it's very complicated. But don't be panicked. Like, right? You don't have to know all of these open source testing framework at a time. So since open source framework is evolving every day, um, also there might be the better framework, people migrate quickly. So it's kind of tools, not the absolute thing that we have to keep in mind. Just tool that we are using for our purposes. So all we need to do is just find out the proper framework, fit to the project, and then learn it.
Mhm.
That's it. So it might be I don't know, if it's a powerful, it takes long, it lasts longer. But if it
Mhm.
isn't, it's gonna wait in the market. So there are a lot of the framework and then the add-on and then library and so on, the package and then so on. You don't have
Mhm.
to worry about it. So um, this is the Can you read this for me?
Yeah, so it's from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. It's better to be a learn it all than a know it all. So he said that I read a book called Mindset. If you
Hmm.
take two people, one of them is a learn it all and the other one is a know it all, the learn it all will always trump the know it all in the long run, even if they start with less innate capability.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's correct, Ellen, because means I think that nobody knows everything. So if we don't learn, we'll not know. So learn it all is always better than know it all.
Right. So the thing that you knowing right now might not be necessarily in the future at all.
Yes,
It
yes,
changes
yes.
so quickly. So
Mm-hmm.
always ready to learn something is
Mm-hmm.
a kind of your asset in your like you know the
Yes.
team or yourself and for in this the society. So I think I like what he's saying. So it's very applicable to our environment in IT. Also, in particular, the open source is one of the concept that we can follow
Mm-hmm.
in this sense. So all right, then let's learn it. Let's learn the what is supposed to be used in our framework and in our the technology. So
Yes.
so okay, so technical stuff and how to install it. So we need to install the protractor.
Mm-hmm.
Have you installed the protractor before?
Yes, Ellen.
Yeah.
So,
Could
yeah,
you
I
walk?
haven't.
Yeah. Could you walk through this for us?
Yeah. So, first of all, we need to have Node.js on our machines.
Yeah. How to install the Node.js?
Um, uh, and that I forgot. I
Yeah.
think you can.
It's
Yeah,
very
I think you
simple.
can repeat it.
It's
Yeah.
very simple. Go to the Node.js webpage and
Yes.
choose the right platform like
Mm-hmm.
Windows, the Linux,
Yes.
or like Mac OS, OX 10, or whatever platform you want it to, and just
Mm-hmm.
click and next and next and next. And now Node.js server is available.
Yes.
Okay, now suppose Node.js is available in your machine, and then
Yeah. So it's like use npm to install
what is
Protractor.
npm? What does npm stand for?
Um, yeah, no idea, Ellen.
Yeah, Node Package Manager. So which
Yeah,
is a
so
command line to the command line
for Node.js.
for the Node.js. Whenever
Yes,
you
yes.
the the manages some Node.js tool, you
Mm-hmm.
use this command. So there's a like Node.js command references in the Node.js webpage. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so you can refer to that later on. So npm and then what?
npm install -g and then Protractor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
minus
it's
G means
basically a
like
command.
yeah. Keep going on.
Yeah, so it's basically a command line we are using to install our Protractor tool.
Yeah. So it'll install the protractor and then what?
Uh, then we need to install the means we need to update the WebDriver manager.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so but we need to check the Protractor version too. So if the Protractor version is uh, means it's good or not, or we are not getting any exception. So well, first time I installed it, I was getting some exception. So what I did was I was getting, yes, I remember now. I was getting certificate issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, what I did was I went to command line and deactivated the certificates.
Okay.
Yeah, then
Sometimes
I was
yeah.
so it was npm config set strict SSL false. So after that I was able to install this Protractor.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Basically the npm package is in the on the server and then repository is there. And by typing the command line, we download the package online. And based on your location and automatically download it to your machine and install it. So that's how to extend your functionality of the Node.js in your machine. So a WebDriver manager is one of those, and we can add on your Node.js packages. So there are a lot of packages. If you go to the Node.js website, there are a lot of
Yeah,
packages are
there are a
available.
lot of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
all free. So sometimes your company firewalls environment, then it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
allow you to download your some of the packages since it's in the the execution file, or some of the files are like not allowed. But in that
Mm-hmm.
case, you talk to the IT person and make them open up the some of the ports, and then that server is providing with, and then open up, and then they taking care of it after that, and then
Mm-hmm.
if the port is open, and then we can keep downloading it, and then and update
Yes.
the package itself. That's how to install that. Then you write the code and
Mm-hmm.
configuration and so on. And I'll explain it in the my environment this thing later on. So this is very simple. So basically, like install the Node.js, just download it and then a website, and then click next, and then Node.js ready on the server, and then now prepare for the Protractor environment, WebDriver,
Mm-hmm.
JS, and then Protractor, and so on and on. And now it's ready for running your framework, automation framework. How simple is it? So simple.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you install it, this is a screen capture of my testing environment. Install the
Yes.
protractor, and then either download automatically, and this kind
Mm-hmm.
of package a lot of zip files, and this is all open source. You can even look up and read the code itself in the if you go to the GitHub on there.
Mm-hmm.
And also WebDriver Manager updated it, and it's downloading. This is the kind of process of downloading the package on the server. Some of the jar
Mm-hmm.
file, which is a Java, and zip file. Um, jar file contains a lot of the classes inside it, and basically it uses Selenium server standalone. Yeah, so you don't have to know about everything about it, but just this is kind of process of like preparing for the Protractor, um, the development environment, and then WebDriver Manager started. This is kind of command that you turn on the server, the client server. So WebDriver Manager is keep listening to the client's message, like HTTP or and so on and on. So it's on. The server is on. So basically, the servers are keep up and running on the server, and then if you write the code, then you keep talking to the server on the on your machine set.
Mm-hmm.
Selenium
Yeah.
server is up and running. So well, let's check on the necessity of Protractor. So we have a like beautiful tools which works fine for now. Do we still need it? The Protractor is working fine. Isn't it a waste of time to research this kind of thing? Um,
Um,
Probably the one of the our team members can argue that I don't need it. Then how do you defend that argument, Neha?
so, yes, and then the first point will be like it's free. So, see, even if we are paying such a big cost for test complete licenses, but if we get a good functional tool with better means with better framework, then why not go for the free tool
Yeah, why
and
not? Why
save?
not?
Yeah,
Free is nice
yeah, and
if it's
save
good.
money. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So, plus, yeah, so one point is like you have written it automatic waiting. So it also minimize the sync issues. So basically with GUI, it's always the case that we bump into many sync issues. So if our tool is taking care of the sync issues, then that will be, means that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also, uh, it's like the tools which are paid tools. So it happens that the object fetching mechanism is not really that great.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so sometimes we really have to means write big codes to fetch us very simple objects. So if our tool is handling it and the object identification is really good, then we should always do R&D on these type of tools and see that if they can really match up with our need or not.
Right. Yeah. So we have enough reasons to research on this, even
Mm-hmm.
though we are not currently using it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's justification why we still need to research on this, since it's still evolving because it's
Mm-hmm.
an open source project. Even though it's not working that well right now, in the future it'll get better and better. So we
Mm-hmm.
can keep following this kind of the open source technologies just in case we need it in the future for the
Yeah.
like people who works on the quality just like us, like estate in the
Mm-hmm.
right.
Uh,
Yep.
Plus, Ellen, one good point with these open source tool is that is like with Selenium also, like it's not for Windows testing, but it will provide some plugin or some way to really integrate it with Windows also. So open source tools are like very adaptive to changes.
Uh-huh.
So that's good.
Yeah, that's one of the part we have missed, which is very nice to take
Mhm.
care of the change management, so
Mhm.
adaptability, so
Yes.
scaling out uh,
Yes.
is one of the beauty of the open source. Right. So, um, can you explain this slide for me, please?
Yeah. So automation perspectives. So it's like what we automate. So if I am navigating through a web application, so first the main point is first I need to find the objects I need to interact with. Then after I find the objects, then do some actions and verify whatever I need to verify after that action. So whichever tool. So basically during the selection of tools, when we select some tool for automation, so first of all we see that how is the object fetching mechanism. If it supports every type of object, so a tool should support every type of object, plus the object fetching should be really fast, and also uh, it's like we should be able to perform the user actions and they should be sync, means it's not like if I have to do two clicks like A and B, so I click A and then immediately I click B even before realizing that A was not completed. So if our automation tool supports that, then it's very good choice.
Great, great. So let's go to the next slide. BDD. Um, what is BDD?
So I think it's like behavior driven development.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is it good?
yeah. So actually, it's like how our application behaves. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, basically
Uh,
it's good. Yeah. So usually the program language is kind of like a little bit complicated, something that we need to learn in order to write the code.
mhm,
So needs a kind of technology, experience and expertise. But
mhm,
the BDD based concept is like um, even business stakeholders can write the code, can
mhm,
participate in the development by using the natural languages rather than the
mhm.
code base. So the framework itself and interpret the natural language into the
Mhm,
code base, and then it'll boost up the like collaboration between QA, as the developers and the business stakeholder and so on and on. So it'll provide the lot of the better and agile like communication
Yeah.
among the different stakeholders.
So it's more of like we are writing in basic English.
Yeah.
So yeah, easy to understand and easy to
Uh-huh.
write.
Right, right,
That type of
right.
thing, yes.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah,
yeah, don't dive into complexity of programming languages. So that's
right.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That is very nice. So the jasmine is one of the BDD. Another one is like cucumber and whatever, and so on and on. So the
Mhm.
protractors recommend the Jasmine framework. So we can review the how Jasmine framework look like soon in the code base. Um, the one of the two parts we are interested in the automation is like fetching the object, which is a searching element. The other one
Mhm.
is a user behavior. So in order to do the user behavior, we have to first find searching the elements in the web. So there are a lot of methods to the searching the elements, which is a DOM, but like AngularJS has a very unique HTML format of the codes itself,
Mhm.
since it's wrapped by the framework. For
Mhm.
example, one of those is a binding, the other is a model.
Mhm.
So if you look at the application here, under the span code, there's a two bracket. What is it? The bracket, large bracket here.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then this is my model. This is not shown in the web browser.
Mhm.
This is my model is variable. Simply said, variable.
Mhm.
It can be changed under. In hindsight, there's something running on the AngularJS web application.
Mhm.
In order to catch this object, we uh, in the basic um, tools, it doesn't catch it. It just like bracket itself. Since it's a web page, HTML, it just bracket.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
Protractor, if you find my model here, typing here by binding,
Mhm.
this element fetching the object very well.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of the
Yeah.
the Protractor's design for the testing Angular JS specific environment.
Mhm.
This only exists in the AngularJS. So Protractor
Yeah.
catch up the AngularJS DOM better than any other framework. So the other one
Yeah.
is by model. NG model. The model is kind of class. It's kind of
Mhm.
class. So my model here is also we can fetch the object by that model here, my model. This is the element here in the web, also here, so that we can find out the web element easier than any other framework.
Yeah. So here, by is a class which is provided by Selenium, and it's overridden for this WebDriver JS.
WebDriver.js. There's a
Yes.
WebDriver.js API document. You can
Yeah.
use it. So I will show you the references and you can refer to later on.
Mhm.
So yeah. So and by repeater and by CSS is the same thing. Now I think you can explain this, Neha, if you don't
Uh,
mind.
yes. Uh, so they are again the locators. So what we say, it's like CSS repeater. So they are like what we can say, at the attributes and their values in AngularJS. So if we see in our application, so we have in between a span we have username. So username, it is dynamic. It can change depending on, I think, whoever is logged in or something else. So how we recognize this? So so here's it's like ng repeat. So we put by dot repeater and the user in users, the text in by dot repeater. So uh, yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, it will recognize our that variable username.
right. So um, ng repeat is a loop
Mm-hmm.
in the web pages.
Okay.
Yeah, so for a while, that kind of thing. But it's written by the template or framework. Like it'll repetitiously, it'll run
Mm-hmm.
around and show up on web page, dynamically generate the web pages in the final and the user's web pages. But basically, the code looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then in order to find the cope with these dynamic web pages, by
Mm-hmm.
repeater in the protractor is the one
Yeah.
that we can handle very well. So that's one of
Yeah.
those. By CSS is also in the same concept, but
Yeah.
but the Google doesn't recommend the user by CSS a lot of times.
Yeah,
But
so yeah, so it's a style sheet basically. So many of the means Google also or and plus it's not best automation for practice to use CSS as a locator.
right, right,
Yeah.
you're right. So but there's still the API there, so you can still use it,
Mm-hmm.
but not recommended.
Uh, so for last slide, I remember one instance in our R3 server. So we have an EGM page. So if we go to the source code in there, so basically on page we see 10 or 15 EGMs at a time. But if we go to the source, we see only this ng repeat and the properties within.
Right, that's the
So
right
yeah,
examples.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So if we can relate it basically to
right,
that page.
right,
Yes.
right. Great, great, great. Indeed, Nehar is the one who knows a lot of code base also. Yeah. All right, so I've already told you about this. So avoiding using the CSS and AngularJS attribute using if you use a protractor. So protractor is working fine in the AngularJS, but do you think Protractor is not working in the any other web pages other than the Angular?
Um, See, Alan, I have no idea. So if it's developed for AngularJS, I think it can work only with AngularJS.
Um,
Or does it
yeah,
work with?
yeah, but fortunately the Protractor is working any other the web pages also.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, since it is still use a WebDriver JS, also
Mm-hmm.
the Jasmine, so it's still
Mm-hmm.
working fine in any other web application, but very
Okay.
good under the the AngularJS web environment.
Okay.
Just yeah, yeah,
Uh,
just
so
for your
I,
information.
Okay, so I have a question, Ellen, here.
Yeah, yeah,
As you have done a lot of R&D, so basically, if I say I take one example of a web application which is not in AngularJS,
yeah,
okay, so it will not contain that properties, ng model or ng span and all that, okay?
right.
Yeah. So in that case, what locators can we use?
Um, Not Angular specific, but
Yes,
like
yes.
basic the Selenium, any other attribute that we can use can be used
Oh,
also. Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay,
just
okay.
basically Selenium.
Yeah,
Basically
yeah.
Selenium. Yeah,
Okay, got it. Means
yeah,
we can use by dot name or by dot ID, anything.
exactly, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So now executing event. Um, I think I'm show you the demo right now rather than
Yeah.
explain this. So basically the protractor consists of the two JS file. One is the conf.js, the other one is the the execution file to do spec.js. You can change the name this to do spec.js. This is customized. Also can be added more. And basically, this is basic example. And on the conf.js, you specify the server address. I mean, this is localhost. So server is already up and running here.
Yes, web that yes.
Yeah. So it's this server WebDriver manager is listening to the command from here to here. Yeah. And then the spec, this is a BDD style. Spec is to do spec.js is the file over here. And this is kind of environment setup.
Yes.
So
So environmental setup, it's basically like what we say, setup and tear down the environment specific functions in JUnit.
JUnit?
Yeah, so in JUnit also, Ellen, we have
Yeah.
setup, yeah, and tear down.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
setup is like for setting up the test environment, and tear down is for
Yeah.
finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same format. That's similar like grammar with the JUnit. So this is a kind of in the testing reporter, the third-party tool. The HTML reporter is one of the reporting tools that I have added on. So
Okay.
it will show up the save the report, test report in the separate folder right over here. I just screenshot. So this is a test environment. So if you want the additional, the add-on, the this is a use unit. The same,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So Protractor HTML screen reporter is another module, third-party module that I have added on. So if you go to the to-do spec, so this is Jasmine, the grammar. If you look at like describe it, if you need another test, you can add another it down there. It.
Okay,
So
okay.
describe,
Hmm.
this is the name of the function, and the it, another function here. This is the constructor. The
So there is a function within a function.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then this is the element that we are going to use. And then this is our like test report. And this is the global, the variables, the browser. Go to this web page and element by model, username,
Yes.
and send key with the password. And then to click it.
Yes.
And this is a bad example. Finding by XPath, but still working, but not a the bad example. As a bad example, I put it in the code. And expect is a kind of validation process. To be get to be is like
Yeah.
compare with this
Compare.
and
Yes,
with
yes.
this
Yes.
with
Got it.
this. You got it? And then
So you are verifying that whether the page is correct. So the table that appears,
right,
server, yeah, the information table.
right,
So yeah, so you are taking the reference of that table, and then in that table you are verifying this text is
right, right.
correct or yes, got
So
it.
this is our web page here. If you look at this here, right? ng model here.
Yes.
So this is AngularJS specific, right? The password also same, right?
Yes.
So the code is approaching the ng style, not the normal the web pages.
Yes.
So by model and by name and find the by XPath is not a good idea, but still working on it. and
Mm-hmm.
validate it, and so on.
Yes,
Also,
yes.
let's run this code.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the server is still running, up and running, and
Yes.
then on purpose, let's run it first. Let's run it.
Mm-hmm.
I um, intentionally I make it a failure since one space over here, the test
Okay,
will be
yes.
fair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's run it. So it's simple. The protractor command and
Yes.
conf.js,
Yes.
and I run it. And what's going on the server unless you watch at the same time.
Mm.
The server is running. The web browser
Mm.
is up, and it goes down. And
So, yeah, Alan, I had a question.
yeah,
So, it basically opens up Chrome. So, is there any way we can simulate this on any another browser?
yeah, it supports
Mhm.
various browsers just like a Selenium does.
Just okay, okay.
Yeah, so it has one failure. So expect
Mm-hmm.
it this and this. Let me
Yes.
go back in normal and file, save, and then run again. Yeah, so no failure. One
Mm-hmm.
spec. Yeah, this is kind of how it goes about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, time pass.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's really fast. And so, Ellen, one more question. So there are
yeah,
many questions.
yeah,
Yeah. So, like, we have, can't we do some reporting formatting with this tool? So, say, if I want to see some type of reports,
yeah.
can we do that?
Basically, this package doesn't um, provide a fancy report format yet, but we
Mm-hmm.
have a bunch of the third party, the
Mm-hmm.
report tools, which I've showed you HTML screenshots, is more of those.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple of more in the open
Mm-hmm.
sources. We can add on in the npm, and
Yes.
they have their own API, so
Mm-hmm.
we can do it. We
Mm-hmm.
can learn also the third-party API and then make it the report better. Yeah. That's kind of the next topic that we are going to talk about, the test report. How to add a third-party add-on here and how to customize the report, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any more question about this?
No, Ellen.
Okay.
So,
So um, this is the URL for
mm-hmm.
the protractor. If you go there, you will see the daily code based update and very frequently, and API
Okay.
document for
Mm-hmm.
the protractor right over here. You can go and see
Mm-hmm.
and document.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
keep working on this on the next one-on-one session with you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Plus, Ellen, we can also look for the Protractor integration with Eclipse. See if we can do this integration. So the reporting format it will be good by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
So I just use the like Atom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's also one of the open source the editor, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice. But yeah,
Okay.
the Eclipse also the free open source IDE tools. We still
Mm-hmm.
can use it since the
Yes.
Selenium is well go get along with the Eclipse very well, so we can do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yes. Um,
Any
yeah, Alan.
further
So
comment?
yeah.
Wanna-
Yeah, so it was really helpful and very nice. You have done a lot of R&D, and it's good to learn new tools and
Yeah,
to know about them.
Yeah.
and I would love to work with it if we get time.
Yeah. So I'm I'm really happy to discuss this topic with you since you are very good at the automation and then we can share and
Mm-hmm.
develop idea and
Mm-hmm.
apply to our project. That's
Yes,
our
yes,
mission, right? So
yes.
I love that. I'm really working. I'm really love to working with you, Neha.
Yeah, same here, Ellen.
Yeah,
So it's good to work with you.
yeah. Thank you very much. And even though we are in very far away in India in Franklin, but we can
Yes,
cooperate and collaboration very well.
yeah,
Yeah, good teamwork.
yes.
All right. Thank you very much for this late time and have a good night and take care.
Okay, good day, Alan. You
All right.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.